Hello guys, today I'll be teaching you guys how I designed this beautiful screen you are looking at. It's very easy, trust me, but you have to calm down and know the steps so that you don't make a mistake. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring an empty frame. So let me just duplicate this frame here. I'll tap my enter key and delete everything inside. So now I have my empty frame. Now the first step here is you need to know how to get this shape you're looking at. It's very easy but kind of complex. Okay, the first thing you should know is this is a combination of three different shapes. This is the first large rectangle, the second rectangle here, and the third rectangle here. How did I do that? I'm going to tap R for rectangle on my keyboard. I'll click anywhere in my frame. It's going to give me 100 by 100 pixel rectangle by default. I'm going to check. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll check the total width of my frame, which is 360. I'll click on my rectangle. The width of my rectangle will now be 360 minus, I'm going to give it 8 pixel to the left, 8 pixel to the right, and 8 pixel to the top. So 8 pixel on the left margin and 8 pixel on the right margin, making 16 pixels, right? So that will be the total width of this frame, which is 360 minus 16 pixels. And I'll set that in the middle of my frame. That is the first step. So now I have 8 to the left and 8 to the right. Then your Y would also be 8 pixels. So now you have 8 to the top also. And I'm going to drag this rectangle down like this. Now I have my rectangle inside my frame. The next thing I want to do here now is I'm going to give this rectangle a corner radius. So I'm going to give it a corner radius of, let's say, 12. Let's see how that looks. Okay, this is 32, then this one can go up to 24. Yes, now I have the perfect corner radius here and here. Awesome. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this rectangle with your shift and your alternative key, drag it down. After duplicating, you make it shorter. So I'm going to make it shorter for this bottom side here. So I'm going to make it let's say 56. I'm going to make it 56 and I'll make the corner radius 100. Still in the middle of my screen. I'll also make it shorter. So instead of 344, I'll make it 312, which is the normal width of my button for mobile applications. 312 width. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this one again to form the third one, the third rectangle. Yes. So I hold my shift and my alt key again and drag it up again to make it 3 rectangles. Now you guys have to pay attention from here on, please. This is where it might get complicated or complex, right? So this rectangle here, I'm going to hold my alternative key and I'm going to reduce it from both sides to give me just this small one. Then I'll select all the 3 rectangles. I'll reduce their spacing to 0 spacing or to minus, let's say minus 4 spacing, just to join them together. So now they are overlapping inside each other. The next thing I want to do is this rectangle in the middle, I'm going to remove the corner radius, change it to 0. So it's just giving you like a straight box, right? A straight rectangle. So this rectangle, this one and this one, 3 of them becomes 1. I'm going to use the union feature here. They become 1. Then after making them 1, you are now going to flatten the image, because even the union, if you come to the left hand side and open this union, you can see they are still practically separated, right? So you have to flatten it to make it just one single shape. I'll click on this drop down and I'm going to flatten it. Once I flatten it, it becomes 1. Now there is no more drop down here. You can't separate them anymore. Yes, that is the first part of this whole thing. Then how do we get this curve here? It's very easy. To do that, you just have to double click on this flattened shape here. Once you double click, you can now edit. So I'm going to zoom in. I'll come to the middle of this place. I'll click once to create a node. I'll do the same thing, click once here to also create a node in the middle here. Then now let us count. So this node I created secondly, I'm going to leave it selected. Then I'm going to count while I'm bringing it inward. So you're going to use the left arrow key on your keyboard. As you are tapping, please be counting. So it's going to be equal with this one. So I'm going to take it inward by 24 pixels. So I'll just tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm going to do the same thing here. Yes, now I have 24 left and right. Then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to select all the nodes around this place and make them curve. Okay, select the first one, hold your shift key, select the second node, the third one here too. Then the same thing for this. I'll select the 6 nodes around this place and I'm going to give them corner radius of 100. Guys, can you see? It's as simple as that. Now I have my shape. So if you want it to come inward more, it's your choice. You can still bring them inward, both nodes you have left and right here. And if you want, you can even bring the 3 nodes here. You can bring them inward. Then the same thing for here too. Select the first one, hold your shift key, select the second and the third. Then you bring it inward again. And when you are done editing your shape, you tap your enter key to validate your new shape. And that was how I got this shape you're looking at here. So the next thing we want to do now is to create this beautiful design on it. I'm now going to go to Pinterest and I'll search for farm HD. So I need a farm picture, high definition picture. Yes, you guys can see we have different types of farm pictures here. I'll pick this one. Then once it is opened, I'll just right click on it. I'll copy the image. I'll come back to where I'm designing, click on my edited shape here. I'll come to the fill, click beside the fill here to select the fill, then paste that picture on top of the fill, Ctrl V. Now I have my picture inside my shape. Very simple, right? Then once I'm done, you guys can see that this bottom side is a bit darker than the top. So I want that to give more contrast to the button here. So everything can't just be light like this. So I want to enhance my picture a bit. I'll open the picture, I'll give it more contrast and maybe more saturation. Yes, I love it that way. Then I'm going to add an overlay. Click on this plus to add an overlay fill. So my overlay fill is black. I'll first change it to 80%. Now that 80%, you now change it to gradient, right? Gradient fill from up to down. So drag this one from the top, bring it down so it exposes the image very well. And this one, you drag it to the top so it darkens this background for you, this bottom side very well. And you can also increase the opacity of that fill to 90 so it makes this bottom darker because of the button. Yes, and once you are done, to create this button is very easy. I'll just tap my T on my keyboard. I'll type get started. So my get started is here already. I'll give it the color I want. Let me use green. Yes, and I'm going to put it in an auto layout, Shift A. Now my auto layout is going to have let's say 48 pixel height and the width. So remember this bottom rectangle was 312, right? So I'm going to give it 8 pixels to the left and to the right. So that will be 312 minus 8 on the left, 8 on the right. 8 plus 8 is 16. That's 312 minus 16, right? That gives us 296. and I'll give it a white fill and a corner radius of 100. Yes, that's it. And I'll just bring it and drop it here, guys. Put it in the middle of the screen, then take it up a bit. You guys can see I need more spacing at the top and at the bottom here, so I can still edit this shape you're looking at by double clicking. Whenever you want to edit this shape, just double click on it, it becomes editable. Then I'll just highlight the nodes at the bottom and I'll shift them down a bit. Yes, or if I don't want to do that, it's best you should have done that from the very beginning. Okay, that's the best thing. So I'm just going to reduce this height to 40 so it can sit well in the middle of that space. Rather than editing that shape, I'll just reduce my button to fit into that place. So it's best you actually make the last rectangle there, make it bigger than what I actually used, so it can contain your 48 pixel height button. You guys can see this one's base is more bigger than this one's base. Yes, so now I have a replica of what I have here, and to create my carousel, I'll just tap R for rectangle on my keyboard. You drag your rectangle, you give it 100% corner radius, and you duplicate. Hold your shift and alt key, duplicate in 3 places, put 3 of them in an auto layout. The first and second one, tap number 5 on your keyboard to reduce them to 50% opacity. The one in the middle, I'll make it white. Yes, then I can reduce the height of that. Yes, I can reduce the height of that to 20, and I'll just drag it and drop it at the center of this place as my carousel. So guys, that was how I designed this whole thing, and I'll just bring this text. I don't need to type it again, I'll just duplicate it there. So that was how I designed this beautiful screen you're looking at. Please drop a like, drop a comment, and don't forget to share and subscribe. And if there's any other thing you would like me to show you on Figma, don't forget to drop it in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.